Joffrin, Matthias, Gonzalez, Chaya, and Amira. Fruits are an excellent source of essential vitamins and minerals and are high in fiber. Fruits also provide a wide range of health-boosting antioxidants, including flavonoids. Eating a diet high in fruits and vegetables can reduce a person's risk of developing heart disease, cancer, inflammation, and diabetes. Citrus fruits and berries may be especially powerful for preventing disease. However, there are a lot of fruits that may also contain toxins that harm the brain and nervous system when present in amounts that cross the limit of individual tolerance. This happens when toxin-contained foods are the chief or only source of nutrition. Neurologic disease caused by food toxins is probably more common than that caused by food contamination with artificial chemicals, like the infamous Minamata poisonings of a whole fishing community or the Chinese adulteration of infant formula with melamine. Researchers say the adverse neurological effects of food dependency on plant components with toxic potential constitute a significant global health issue. Some of these foods include unripe lychee and ackee fruits, which can cause acute encephalopathy if overeaten, and cassava or grass peas, which are linked to subacute spastic weakness of the lower limbs, and cassava root flour, which can result in the inability to walk straight. This situation happens in chronic food scarcity, malnutrition, vitamin deficiency disorders, inadequate removal of toxins by proper cooking practices, or in some cases, genetic predisposition to the poison. Lychee and ackee fruit can cause acute illness and death, while cassava and grass peas cause slower crippling paralysis as well as other neurologic deficits. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Will I survive? In this video, we will talk about Joffrin Matthias Gonzalez Chaya and his sister Amira and what happened to them. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content. Without further ado, let's begin the video. Joffrin Matthias Gonzalez Chaya, 5, and sister Amira, 3, were living with their parents in the village of Montecito in the municipality of Rio de Oro, Colombia. The children had arrived in Colombia with their parents from Venezuela, which has been in a state of social and economic turmoil since 2010. They were now staying in their grandmother's house. They would play in their grandmother's garden for many hours and return home in the evening. On 12 October 2021, the siblings told their parents they were heading to their grandmother's garden to play and would return home on time as usual. They played in the village for several hours and then planned to return home. While going back, they saw a beautiful tree, Thevasias ahoy, and picked some red fruit from a Thevasias ahoy tree known locally as Bola de Tora. Thevasia ahoy is usually an evergreen shrub growing 1 to 3 meters tall, though sometimes it becomes a small tree. A species can be used as an ornamental and has bright yellow flowers that give off a subtle scent. When cutting, the leaves and bark exude a milky white sap, which can cause irritation when coming into contact with the skin. Thevasia ahoy's fruit is 2 to 3 centimeters long, 3 to 5 centimeters wide, and bright red. Special caution must be taken with children and pets as they're highly toxic. Joffrin consumed 6 apples, while his sister consumed 4. They stayed in the garden for hours, but then began to experience convulsions. They began to vomit violently and were later found unconscious in the garden. The parents didn't understand the reason for the kids' unconsciousness, so they quickly drove them to the hospital. The siblings were taken to the Emiro Quintero Canizares Hospital, where they remained for 2 days. On the way to the hospital, Amira's condition got worse. When they reached the hospital, it was already too late for her. Amira couldn't make it and died in intensive care. The parents sought help from Colombia's ombudsman's office so their remaining child could be transferred to a better hospital in the city of Cucuta. Although the transfer was authorized, her brother was set to be transferred to another hospital, but because he did not receive timely medical care, he went into cardiac arrest en route and died. The loss was beyond the imagination of the parents. They couldn't believe they had lost both children. The doctors told the parents that the kids ate poisonous fruits, which caused their deaths. The intense poison penetrated the body and within hours killed both children. The family's neighbor, Jesus Elias Vanegas, said, "The children thought they were apples and ate them. At the time, nothing happened, but hours later, they started to vomit and showed all the symptoms of poisoning." The children's dad said, "The boy ate 6 fruits and the girl 4. We took them to the hospital so they could be treated, but as we were from Venezuela and the insurance they had did not count for much, the girl got worse, and what they did was give her serum until she was sent to the ICU where she died." The news of Joffrin and Amira's deaths spread like fire. The whole town was shocked and did not know that such kinds of fruits existed or could cause death. Police urged Montecito residents to remove the dangerous plant from their properties or face being fined. It was understood that ornamental plants were common in the area. The grieving parents were in severe shock and reportedly received counseling in the nearby town of Ocana, where their children were due to be buried. Both kids were too young to leave too soon. The parents may never be able to come out of this trauma. This was not the only case where someone battled for his life. Many other cases caused massive damage. In 1999, radiologist Nicholas Strickland went on a holiday to the Caribbean island of Tobago, a tropical paradise complete with idyllic, deserted beaches. On her first morning there, she went foraging for shells and corals in the white sand, but the holiday quickly turned for the worse. Scattered amongst the coconuts and mangoes on the beach, Strickland and her friend found some sweet-smelling green fruit that looked much like small crabapples. In a mood of fun and adventure, they decided to taste the beautiful and tasty fruit. Both foolishly decided to take a bite. Within moments, the pleasantly sweet flavor was overwhelmed by a peppery, burning feeling and an excruciating tightness in the throat that gradually got so bad the woman could barely swallow. The fruit in question belonged to the manchineal tree Hippomane mancinelli, sometimes referred to as beach apple or poison guava. It's native to the tropical parts of southern North America as well as Central America, the Caribbean, and parts of northern South America. The plant bears another name in Spanish, Árbol de la Muerte, which literally means tree of death. According to the Guinness World Records, the manchineal tree is the most dangerous tree in the world. It's not only dangerous for humans, but for animals as well. As explained by the Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences, all parts of manchineal are extremely poisonous, and interaction with and ingestion of any part of this tree may be lethal. Manchineal belongs to the large and diverse Euphorbia genus, which also contains the decorative Christmas poinsettia. The tree produces a thick, milky sap, which oozes out of everything: the bark, the leaves, and even the fruit, and can cause severe burn-like blisters if it comes into contact with skin. That's because the sap contains a range of toxins. It's thought that the most severe reactions come from phorbol, an organic compound that belongs to the diterpene family of esters. Because phorbol is highly water-soluble, you don't even want to be standing under a manchineal when it's raining. The raindrops carrying the diluted sap can still severely burn your skin. Because of these horrifying properties, some parts of the tree's natural range are painted with a red cross, a red ring of paint, or even paired with explicit warning signs. You'd think humans could just remove the trees, but they actually play a valuable role in their local ecosystems. As a large shrub, the manchineal grows into dense thickets that provide excellent wind-breaking and protection against coastal erosion on Central American beaches. There have been reports of severe cases of eye inflammation and even temporary blindness caused by the smoke of burning manchineal wood, not to mention the effects of inhaling this stuff. However, Caribbean carpenters have been using manchineal wood in furniture for centuries, after carefully cutting it and drying it in the sun to neutralize the poisonous sap. The real death threat comes from eating its small, round fruit. Ingesting the fruit can prove fatal when severe vomiting and diarrhea dehydrate the body to the point of no return. Fortunately, Strickland and her friend lived to tell the tale because they only ate a tiny amount of death apple. In 2000, Strickland published a letter in the British Medical Journal describing her symptoms in detail. It took over 8 hours for their pain to slowly subside as they carefully sipped pina coladas and milk. The toxin went on to drain into the lymph nodes on their necks, providing further agony. Recounting our experience to the locals elicited frank horror and incredulity. Such was the fruit's poisonous reputation, Strickland wrote. We found our experience frightening. So the spikes of the lychee fruit, also known as lychee, may be a deterrent for some animals, but for humans willing to break it away, it is an exotic and tasty treat, and often, just one is not enough. But if eaten too early, particularly by someone who missed their evening meal or by a child in a malnourished state, this seemingly sweet fruit can be toxic and sometimes fatal, as shown recently by a mystery illness that affected the town of Muzaffarpur in India, the country's largest lychee-producing region. Hundreds of children in India may be hospitalized with fever, convulsions, and seizures each year. A recent report revealed they are probably due to toxins from unripe lychees. Combined with low blood sugar or malnourishment, these toxins can result in even lower blood sugar or hypoglycemia. They block the body's sugar production, which becomes especially dangerous when we sleep and our blood sugar levels naturally fall. This could lead to encephalopathy, a change in brain functioning. Naturally occurring toxins in the lychee fruit are associated with the toxicity that led to this encephalopathy. It's quite possible that when glucose metabolism is disrupted, you get a buildup of other